Oh, all right. So I am going an hour earlier than I originally projected that I would go because the mail came earlier than I normally would get it. But it's Saturday, so they don't have to go to as many places they would normally go during the weekdays, and they're not really obstructed by as much, I guess, because banks are closed. I don't think one of the guys, what is it called, the trash man, don't run. Here's the box. It's too big to even remotely even try to get into the frame of the camera. I went a little overboard this time. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember what the total was, but you can count the comics on the thing. I decided I'd try something different. I put like what is it called? Um, like I keep everything on Microsoft Excel. Before there was the interwebs and stuff like this, I used to use Microsoft Excel back in the 90s. I still have my Microsoft Excel 1997 disk, and every time I get a computer, I just reinstall it. It's the laser disc. No, it's the whoa! Something came out of the box. So there are two massively okay. The stuff that's there to keep me from things falling over the place or falling on me. Hold on, let me get them up off the ground. Oh, there's no cats in here, so I guess I'm gonna wear out too much. I got two of these, and they are kept up by tape. I should reuse these actually. These yeah, I could probably reuse them for something. It's probably the proper thing to do. I like to reuse. You know, people recycle all the time. Before you recycle, reuse. That's always the better thing to do. I'm not saying it's don't recycle. I'm just saying, like, okay, before you throw cardboard away, how about you use cardboard for something instead of going out and buying something like, oh, I gotta put something under when I paint. No, you don't. I'm sure you got lots of trash that you're just throwing away. For example, I remember somebody bought one time something that they were gonna put down under paint. And I'm like, why would you do that? You have cardboard from boxes. Works fine for me. All right, so things like that. Like, always try to think of ways to reuse something. And I just realized that today's Saturday. I missed the thing today. I was like, wait a minute, today's Saturday. Something I knew I was missing something today, but it was one of those things where I'm like, no, it can't be. I can't think of what it is. You know, I'm just so Saturdays is one of the days when he does the claim sale. I'm sure he did it, and I've already missed it. I really hate when I miss it. Oh, there's a good one. That actually, I put that one on the front because I like it. I like it a lot. All right, trying to get these out of here. They're tightly fitting in here. All right, you got lots and lots of comic books to go over. Not sure why I put that one way and the other one's the other. Since we've already seen it, let's go ahead and put that down and get her started. Let's get this angled correctly. This won't be staring like down a runway. All right, so Adventure Comics. I had this comic when I was a kid. I remember that tomb reminded me of the Pharaohs, or the thing. Okay, so if you ever had the Micronauts, there was this thing called Stations, Astro Station, I think. It looked like basically a shoebox that flew around. It was, or like the frame of a shoebox that flew around. There was this thing in there, like a medical golden thing, and that's what this reminds me of. I swear they took the idea from that. But yeah, I had this when I was a kid, this particular comic book, because I like this Starman a lot because eventually these gave away to the Dial H for Heroes series. I think I was in fifth grade when this came out. What year? There's never a year when I want one, but I'm pretty sure I was in fifth grade because I think fifth grade, I clearly remember that Dial H for Heroes started then because I was really wanting to do it. All right, I got a lot of Superman from you, but it's not anything new like the last time you saw this. It's old stuff. I mean, it's like even older than old. Now, there's these backstories in the 50 Cent era. Fast Extra, a fast-moving tale of the fabulous worlds of Krypton. Now, when I got on, actually, I remember this sale. When I got on there, I was trying to claim. I was like, why is he not noticing me? I'm just claim. And I'm like, oh my gosh, anybody see me? Can anybody see me? Nobody can see me. It's like, and so I tried to reboot it, and I tried to restart it. I tried to start my computer. I had to go to another account. I already created another account for this reason from last year whenever I was, what's his face, for some reason couldn't see my stuff after a while. It's like it just stops letting me be seen. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. So I missed a lot of this stuff. I was like, look, whatever you have as far as Superman before the crisis, I don't know if I said it like that, but basically all pre-crisis Superman that I don't already have, I gave him a list of what I needed or didn't that I think I gave him a list of what I have, which is a lot less than what I don't have. And he's like, "Oh, I got this." I'm like going, and he's like, "If you want to, I could do." I'm like going, "I trust you. Send it on." He said there was two, and he showed me the pictures. I'm going, "Those are bad, but they're not the worst thing in the world. I think they're fine." So he tried to show me, like, he's like, "Are you sure? Because these two are bad." It's probably, I don't know, maybe like the rattiness of this one, but I'm okay with that. As long as it's not, like, I have some comics that are so old they're falling apart, and I'm afraid to take them out of the bags. Um, some Golden Age, like Crow and Fox and stuff like that, that if you take them out, they're going to fall apart. They're going to disintegrate. So this is a 30-cent Superman. That was like for before I can read. So I read comic books before I can read. I looked at the pictures and I had my mom to tell me certain words, and she really hated that because I always asked her while she was driving. She's like, "I can't tell you I'm driving." Going, "Oh, I see how it is. You can't tell me when you're driving." I was just thinking the car drove itself. All right. This one doesn't have a backstory. This is 35 cents, 30 cents. They may have a backstory, but I just remember when they start pushing the backstories, I remember very clearly, this is not going to have one. It says he's Titanto. I don't know if it's going to show up, but let's see if they have a thing here. Oh, this is like they folded it under without tape. It had this, it looked like a calendar of stamps. And it would say, get this comic so you can get this backstory. I remember one of them was Jack-o'-lantern, which I thought was interesting. An interesting character nonetheless. And it may have been only at the beginning of the run. But it was like, if you want to read about this, buy this comic. The Fabulous World of Krypton. Now, that actually became a 3-issue comic series, I'm pretty sure. Like, a lot of this backstory stuff, like, I think Warlord had Barren Earth, which was not a good one. But he got its own comic book for, like, 6 issues. So I don't see the stamp thing in there. If I can come across one that has one. Like, Superboy trains Clark Kent. This is an 8-page backstory. Also, I got a lot of Superboy from me, which I need the New Adventures of Superboy. I'm always got it all complete. So I might as well go ahead and get her done, get them all, if I can. Now, pre-crisis stuff is my bread and butter. That's what I was really reading a lot of. Post-crisis, well, let's see. When did crisis happen? That's right. Crisis on Infinite Earths happened while I was, learning to drive and driving. So when you start driving, money goes in the gas tank, not in the comic book. And I didn't have as much money for comics, and I suddenly had friends that I never had before. How does that work? Oh, can you give me a ride to this? Can you get a ride to this? Yeah. Oh, here's a nice old Superboy. I think this is the only Superboy I got from the 2000 or number 214. But I thought I had this one at one time. Look at that time, the date stamp on there. I think I understand why they did this, but I don't know how that they thought they can. I don't know. Yeah, I think they did it so people won't think they're stealing, kind of like a receipt when you go out the door, so you can claim you bought it. But what would stop you from buying one of these stampers and just doing it? All right, see another story in the back. So if it's the 50-cent era, there's a lot of stories in the back. I want all the Super Friends because they have really good stories in the back. Sorry, earlier I was trying to build something and I was just coughing up a storm. So I might end up doing that again. My voice is gone because of all the rain, I guess. I don't know. So extra, just imagine a day in the life with Bruce Superman Wayne. Oh, I've never read one of those. So it's Superman, Bruce Wayne. So I guess he landed in, not Metropolis, or not in Smallville, but he landed in Gotham. The Fabulous World of Krypton. There's the backstory. I think I have this in French. I definitely remember this cover with less, like a different color back here. This cover, it's like the French comic book. I have a few French comics. Superman 4, job A is this. He's been taking notes from Zatanna, hasn't he? So, the most mind-shattering Superman story ever told was when time ran backwards. Oh, okay, so I was actually not joking. I was joking, but it backfired. So I thought you read it like this, but no, because the exclamation mark's in the front, which could have been Espanol. And I think this is the other story I have in French. But I think it was part of the other one. I definitely remember this setup. A new Krypton. So it's also carried over to the 60-cent era. And there is an X marks the spot. So this was the ex-Superman. Yeah, I don't really care about things marked on the thing. I swear I had this one. Oh my gosh. I just realized this is the one that I was reading. And there was like suddenly I got to the middle of the story. And I was like, what just happened? It skipped over. This is the comic book that I do have, but I'm missing the middle like few pages. Like I didn't even know it. Until I started reading it, and then I was like, it just skips over a few pages. Oh my gosh, this is going to go on my to read right away because I never got to read it. I read the backstory though. It was like, what is the? I think this is the one, Superman 3 in 2020, and I think I read it back in 2020 because well, it was 2020, and I thought, well, that's clever. It's like I don't know if they ever realized that I'm reading the 2020 story in 2020, but I think this is the one where he's playing tennis. Yep. I did read the backstory because it was intact. But I was so ticked off. I got halfway through the comic and it was missing pages. So I'm going to see my first time, the middle pages. I think this was the pages I was missing. Because it was like I was going from here. Imagine that you're going from here, page 11, to suddenly you're on page 16. You're like, wait, something's wrong. How did it get us? Like, he got sucked out of the thing to that. That doesn't make any sense because there's pages between 11 and 16. That's how comic books work. So I'm going to put this on the side so I can finally finish the story, even though it's not in order. But hey, back then, story arcs were not really a thing so much. So yeah, I'm very excited to finally get to finish that. I didn't even realize he had this one. And I didn't realize this was the one because when I saw this, like, I swear I have this one. I technically do, but I'm technically only have part of it. I'm so happy about that one. That was my favorite one now. All right. Don't just stand there. Can't you see I'm being strangled? Is he crazy? Nothing's there. Super spectacular. Search for the Impossible Man. Wait, isn't the Impossible Man that little green guy that annoys the Fantastic Four? Huh. I guess he can go to different universes. It's kind of like Mr. Mixliaplick. I can never pronounce that. I always called him Mr. Mixliaplick when I was a kid. All right, 285. That's one of the oldest ones in there. Here's another 25 cents. This is 296. I've seen this cover a lot. Now, you did say that some of these had rolled covers, but I'm like, as long as they can go inside of a comic book cover, they're not that rolled. If they're so rolled they can't, that's when I'm like, meh. Oh, and Super Team Family. Yeah. It's got Challengers of the Unknown in all new adventures. Plus Doom Patrol. Wait, oh my gosh, is this the new Doom Patrol? Because I kind of want to make a mission now, even though I don't have a comic book shop or anything. Why does my neck keep popping? That's probably one of the things that I'm having struggles with today. Pain. All right, there's Negative Man. So, no, it's probably a reprint thing because that's Negative Man, not Negative Woman. The new Doom Patrol, that looks very much old. So it's probably a reprint out of some other issue, like an older comic. And my voice is getting scratchy. Got Green Arrow in it. Yeah, I think this is all old reprints, except for it says it's an all new Challengers. Denny O'Neil. He had a restaurant. We used to go there once in a while. It was over in High Point. Denny's, I think was the name of it. All right, so, oh yeah, here comes my favorite series when I was a kid. And I think I've already bought number 3. I was like, I'm just going to let it slide because I'm like, at this point, I don't care anymore. It's like, if I get 2 of the same issue when it comes to All-Star Squadron, I am not going to complain. I love All-Star Squadron. The fact that the reason I like them so much is because they were the Earth 2 superheroes. When I remember when I found out about them, I was trying to tell my neighbor Crystal about it, and she was like, I don't care. Anyway, she didn't care. But I was just so excited about it because Alan Scott had blonde hair and he was a Green Lantern. I was like, oh my gosh, my favorite superhero Green Lantern with blonde hair like I had. I was totally stoked about that. Here's a comic that I want to get every one of these series from Spire Comics. They're all on my checklist. I have a want list and a have list, and these are all on there. So yeah, poor girl, she's lonely. But it's sunshine, and it's on the beach. They're drawing bikinis. That's not, and I noticed that some of these, like, they have any of these, they draw one pieces, so they're more modest. Here's a comic that I had when I was a kid. When I saw it on the screen, I was like, "Oh my gosh, claim!" And nobody claimed against me, which, or like how usually you claim you have to be fast about it. But Shade the Changing Man, I just remember this being such a weird cover, and the fact that it was drawn by the same people that did a lot of the comics. What was it? Captain Atom, I think. Steve Ditko. It's clearly Steve Ditko. I mean, it's his art through and through. I just remember that was so cool, and that's why I put on my icons or the little pictures I put on there. This was a comic I had as a kid. I think I had two of them though. I don't remember what the other number is, but if you show me a bunch of covers, I can point it out to you. I want to say he was standing over here, looking this way, and there was something over here, and it was at nighttime, but I'm not sure. It's funny how you can remember things from your childhood, but you can't remember what you ate for breakfast. This is the 4th DC issue of Tarzan. I was like, claim right away, because I do want to try to read some of the Tarzan from that. When I was a kid, I watched Tarzan. It came on after Mutual Omaha, I think was the TV show. I never really watched that. I just remember trying to catch it on time. I'd watch Tarzan every week. I think it was on Sunday, wasn't it? I swear, Tarzan, there's Mutual Omaha's Tarzan, and then I had to switch the channel, I think, to ABC. There's only 3 channels back then. Well, 4 if you count PBS, but after about 4 o'clock, nobody watches PBS except for old people. Oh, wow. Except at night, I think it was on Tuesday nights, I watched Nova because I loved science. I'm pretty sure it was Tuesday nights. Anyway, so Tarzan, I think, came on every Sunday, and then I switched the channel to The Amazing World of Disney. All right, this next comic book, I think I have it now, too, already, before I picked this one up for him. But I just love that cover. And when I was a kid, I had this comic, and I was like, it's so cool. I remember he had this, he kept the same outfit, basically. It was like a Robin thing going on. And let me just show you the other characters. The whole thing about this, I don't do these things. Go, look at me, I got new comics. I'm not trying to brag to you. I'm just trying to share my love with you of this stuff. Ooh, oh my gosh, I think it was that thing. There's what I'm talking about. So the backstories, they're like, let's put your stamp of approval on DC's added attraction. So they're going to add 8 new pages, but they're going to jack the price up from 40 cents to 50 cents. That's why they did it, to kind of wean you over to it. So we got Adam Strange, because this paper right here, as opposed to the cover paper, overall it's cheaper to put 8 more pages there. Anyway, so Adam Strange appears in the back of Green Lantern. In the back of action, it alternates. Either you're going to get Airwave or Adam, and you got Batman and Robin appearing in Batman. That's not a stretch of the imagination. Aquaman started appearing in Adventure Comics, so it was like Plastic Man, Starman, Aquaman. It was like a tri-star. It was like 3 different things. Here's what I want to find: some more old Wonder Womans and get the Huntress. And after Firestorm's, so after the implosion happened, Firestorm, he was supposed to have more than just 6 issues. I think he only had 6 issues, and there was supposed to be more. So they just went and cut them down. I think, and I'm not saying this as an authority. I think what they did was they took what they were going to do on storyboard, they squeezed them into the back of Flash until he got his own series, and it kept on going for over 100 issues, or maybe 100 issues. But yeah, so Firestorm, they tried to launch it. The implosion happened in the late 70s. They put it in the back of Flash, and then it came back. This is what I was like, man, DC Comics presents. So we got Congarilla. I keep getting him mixed up with the bad guy. Sargon the Sorcerer and Hour Man. I gotta read those. I want to get all my DC Comics presents again. I had almost all when I was a kid. Love that series. Nemesis, a new hero in The Brave and the Bold. I think he was like a detective dude. The Wonder Twins, Jack-O-Lantern, and Seraph. That's the one I want to read all of his stories in the back of Super Friends. But I never see Super Friends comics in the wild. I wish I could. Scalp Hunter appeared in John Hex, which no surprise. World of Krypton, Crypto, and Super Baby. Oh, hold on. World of Krypton appeared in the back of Superman. I thought it alternated. Huh. And then Superboy encrypted these two. That's confusing. I thought Superboy came out. When did this come out? Yeah, okay. Superboy started in 1980. That's right. Crypto and Super Baby. But then it switched after a while to the Daleks for Hero. And then OMAC appeared in the back of Warlord. I seem to remember Bear and Arth also appeared. This may have just been the initial lineup, and they decided to add or change things along the way. Enemy Ace was also appearing in Unknown Soldier, which I never read that. So, all right. So, in this comic, we have Batwoman instead of Batman. So you can tell it's a mix-up comic. I just remember reading this when I was a kid. And there's his wife, and that's why he came to this world to get away from her. I always thought it was kind of weird that he had to put white on Wonder Man, whatever. Like, he's already wearing a tank. He's wearing a muscle shirt, so it's not like I don't know. I thought the white was just a weird touch. I had that one. And that one. And I had all the untold Batman stories, and I think I sold one for $5. I was like, ooh, $5. All right. Yeah, I remember that. This is a great story. I'm just reminiscing with you guys. I love this. I hope that this is not... Everybody's having troubles with the internet today, and it's probably including me. All right. There's Superwoman. And... I'm trying to see if who was the other people that they didn't appear. Oh, yeah, here's the bad guys. Leslie Luthor, Toy Woman, Bizarrus, and Mistleplague. And that's whenever he realized, wait a minute. One of these things is not like the other one. All these are males turned into females except for one. Who could it be? That's why. But I remember there was a small picture of them on the satellite. There it is. Black Canary. Look at that. That's so messed up. He's like showing off his legs with booty shorts on. Hey, and he's wearing he's not wearing white right there. And there's the Flash. It's a girl and Batwoman. Oh my gosh, Black Canary. That's too funny. And I swear that they had, I guess, super wire here, but I remember it was more flared out whenever he was standing around talking at one point. Anyway, yeah, this is a comic book that I had as a kid, and I just wanted to share it with you real quick. I loved this comic. I like twisting things, like making alternates. Like when I was a kid, I liked the Transformers. I made the bad guys and the good guys and vice versa. And then my version of the soup, like this, but I turned the bad guys into good. It had like Red Now Woman for Wonder Woman. I just made her name backwards and made her into like a Russian woman or whatever. I guess Red. The Battler, like Batman became the Battler, and those things on his arms became like his main weapon he would gouge people with. Now this is one of those things I hate not knowing, because it's like there's a 6-1 and a 4-part miniseries of this. So it's always like, do I have this one or not? And you can't look at a list. You actually have to look at the comic cover. But thankfully, back then, we didn't have like 1,000 different covers. Man, that's why I hate modern comics, one of the reasons. But Superpowers was made for one reason: to sell toys. And I don't care, because I like toy comics. It's always creative to go, how are they going to pitch this toy to us? Like Star Wars? That just came out of left field. I mean, that was so bizarre. Superman Family now. I did not have this when I was a kid. I had a lot of Superman families. One of my favorite comics was Superman Family. They had the Batman and Robin of Candor, basically. Night Flame and let's say something bird, like Dark Bird. I can't remember off the top of my head. This is 196. Here's Superman with Toyman. That one's an old one too. That one's a 30 center. Okay, we got Superman versus Lana Lang. Secret, Endangered, Sinister, the Spellbinder. This one's a 40 center. All right. I think it's getting too tall right now because this is a lot of comics. So I'm going to do is pull these up. I'm like, oh no, I wanted to bid on those. Nah, it's not a bid sale. Forget it. Forget about it. I'm trying to figure out where to put them out of the way. I got my drink cup up here. You know what I'll do? I'll just pull from one pile and put through the other, since we're almost done. I don't know where we're at exactly. This is the rest of them right here, so it's still a little bit big, but hey, it'll be okay. I'll pull it over here and you can see it better. So let's see. You can win a movie winner. This is before they did the backstories. I have never read this one. Yeah, a lot of these I've never even seen before. There's an old 25-cent, $2.91. Now this one's interesting because I swear that's Starboy right there. Why does this costume stranger seek to make Stargirl his bride of the stars? Because it's Starboy, maybe? Other than that fur, which looks like actually Colossal Boy's gauntlet, or his whatever you want to call those cuffs, it looks like Starboy's uniform from the Legion of Superheroes. Yeah, these start off with like 5 stories in the back, and then they shorten to 4 stories, you know, because shrinkflation. I'm tougher than you are, Superman, and I hate you so much. I'm going to destroy you. Wow. The brat of steel. All right, here we get some Superboy comics. Now, the Superboy I read when I was a kid was from the Legion of Superheroes, and then he got his own comic with blowing out the candle thing, and I did get a lot of those, but Superboy I liked better than Superman when I was a kid because he was like closer to my age, I guess is why. I can understand. Here's the 2 comics that are really rough. Look at the spine on this. But he told me ahead of time they were rough, and I was like, well, sure, go ahead and throw them in there. I mean, if they're not flaking off like I probably can make a video like what what I don't like. It's like I will never open this because I don't want it to fall apart on me here. Here's a 20 center. This is probably the oldest one I got. Number 269. Wow. Every one of these is a noose, but it's being knotted around his neck. I would think that would be not passing the code. Because, you know, even right here where it's a noose, it's grazing his neck, but it's under his armpits. I had this one as a kid. I remember it. 1981. This was right before the backstories too, so it's interesting. All right, Superboy. Your days as Smallville superhero are over, Superboy. As Kator fades in, you fade out. Gives me like Special K, Kryptonite Man or something. Did Kryptonite Boy ever grow up and become Kryptonite Man? Because I remember Kryptonite Boy from the old Superboy comics. Bonus feature, Superboy's Secret Diary. That became one of the 3 stories that were like rotating in and out. So whatever the initial ones were, they were short-lived because it started becoming The Secret Diary of Superboy, Super Baby, I think was the other one, Daleks for Hero. Here's the other backstory. And I definitely want to read about Daleks for Heroes. I just think it's cool that you can make your own comic and, you know, they even give you creds for it. Like it would say, this was created by Susie Snodgrass of Illinois, or something. I kept dreaming my name would be on there one day. All right, Great Krypton. The orange sun has reduced my powers and blinded me. It's well, isn't what our sun is basically that orange sun? All right. I thought our sun was an orange sun. I know it's a yellow, but still close enough. Me Metallo. And now I'll do it to you. I don't remember Metallo looking like this, but the new McFarlane figure looked like that. And I was like, oh. I just remember him being more like metal than this. This is obviously metal, but I'm talking about colored metal, not green and orange, which looks more like mercury. And it looks like in Minecraft, the way that, like not mercury, what is that called? Isn't it, not iron? Copper. It looks like the copper colors in Minecraft. Since it's raining today, I should probably go play Minecraft. I can't really do any more videos. My voice is about to die. Right now, I can feel it's about to crack and go bad. Yeah, it's an okay cover. It's not the best cover. Let's look at this one. We got Daleks for here at the bottom. He's fighting the Human Torch. We got Superman, and this is an old one too, number 290 from 25-cent era. And the final issues. The final issues. Yeah, definitely, okay, so this Superman right here is also very old. The one I want to read right now is this one, because I have never got to finish this comic. Now I finally get to. So, thanks to, this is from Cheap Comic Collector. He does his comic sales. Well, go to his website. You'll see he does the online $2 claim it auctions. It's $2 per comic and no shipping. If you buy more than like 20, I think. I always buy more than 20, clearly. Um, or if you just let it ride, if you know if you pay for it and just wait until the next time or the next time, because I did that a few times. Is only sometimes it would be like, oh, this is all new stuff, so I only got like six of them. I remember one time I only got six, and I was like, or I think it was only three, and I only paid $6 that night because I was like, yeah, I don't like new stuff that much, honestly. The older the golder to me. All right, I'm gonna put that on top because I'm gonna read that one right away. But hey, what did you guys get this week? I also just put a bunch of money into some CDs, so I'm not going to be buying as much in the next few weeks. So if you're like, oh, why did you stop making videos? Did you pass away? And I'm going to have to really cut back because now that I put all that money in there, that's a good thing because I feel like I've been spending out of control. So what I'm going to do is right now, I'm going to start cutting back on what I spend and start living like I don't have anything in the bank, because number one, I don't need all the stuff I get. I mean, I haven't read all the comic books I got so far, so that's one thing. I got stuff on the table. I got a lot of cleaning I got to do, and I don't know how much longer I got with my dad. So just pray for him, and thanks for watching, and have a great day.